Testing, testing. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Give me one sec. Let me just see where we are. Let's see. Comments. Yes, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Let me get a yes. Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me out. So, first of all, yes, can everyone hear me? That's cool. So, first of all, it's my first live show, and hopefully, plenty more to come in the future. So first of all, welcome to Chelsea Fan TV. If you haven't been here before, remember to subscribe, like, share, and remember to show me some love for coming on and doing this. Very difficult getting used to all the setup, but here we go. And we're going to touch upon a lot of subjects today, a lot of subjects that are very sour within the club, and I'm just going to keep it real. You know, it's not been good the last few months, and at the start of the season, it looked good. It looked healthy. It looked like we was gonna clearly and easily be competing for Champions League. But all of a sudden, things have turned upside down. But we're gonna delve into all those topics over the next hour or so. Obviously, like I said, please like, share, subscribe, all that. And obviously, we're going to get into it. So, first of all, news over the weekend, Saturday night, Brighton away, FA Cup, a game that was there for the taking. Brighton coming off a 7-0 loss the week before, and we have made hard work of it again, going out with a 2-1 defeat. And let's be real, when we went 1-0 up, we was fully in control of the game, and I thought it was going to be at least 2-3-0 within that game. And once again, defensive and goalkeeper errors have cost us goals. For me personally, the first goal, Shaloba and Tosin could have had better communication for that first goal. Meaning, how did they let the guy who scored get in between them for the cross? Look, both of them was facing the same way. They allow the Brighton player just to go in between them for an easy header. This takes a bit of communication. Like, you pick him up, you go side. There was no communication whatsoever for that first goal, and it's once again, it's it's evident to see that the defense has no leadership. Sanchez could have at least told. Yeah. So Chris makes a good point here. Let me get that up. So Chris makes a good point here. Go to sleep, my man. Go to sleep. Yeah. There was going to sleep. The whole defense was sleeping, and the goalkeeper. So I just don't get it. It's the same with recurring errors every single. For Sanchez is the second goal they scored, Mimota. Sanchez didn't have to come out that far to smother the ball. I felt like he could have stayed on the line and he could have been more composed. He's rushed out, and Mimota's had an easy finish into the corner. So it's just the same recurring, repeating mistakes. We go into every game. We go 1-0 up. We're in control of the game. We have either a goalkeeper error or we have a defensive error, which gives the team goals. And it's just the same every week. So for us personally, we're talking about getting a striker. I believe it's more deep than that. We need there's clearly no leadership within this team. There's clearly no defensive structure within this team. And for me personally, top four is a must. Top four now is a must. And to hear Maresca coming out at the end of the game in the press conference to say this shows the levels of the mentality within this squad and within this team and the club at the moment. To hear your manager come out and say, at least now we can push on in the league. When we haven't won a domestic cup for 7 coming up to 8 years. And your manager's coming out and saying that we can now focus on the league. Focus on winning the league or focus on top four. The main focus for us this year was to get that winning mentality back in the club, which has been lost since Roman Abramovich went out. And obviously now we are domestic cups. The only realistic opportunity of us getting a trophy now is the UEFA Conference League. So that's the only chance of us really to getting our hands on anything now. And it goes to show how far back the levels of this club has gone when your manager is literally not even that disappointed about the result. But yeah, disappointing defeat on Friday. A game where I couldn't watch the full game myself, but I watched the last half an hour. And when we was 2-1 down, it's just so depressing within the club. The way we're playing football, Sancho seems to me that he's running out of ideas. He's just doing the same thing. He's just a one-trick pony. He seems to be taking little toe taps, cutting inside and coming back, turning back and passing back. It's not the same Sancho that we've seen the first few games. Is it a confidence thing? Are they running out of steam? But this team seems to be running out of ideas, and it's in need of a refresh. But yeah, we're gonna just quickly go through some of the comments. So I've got a comment from. Spare me a second. So I've got a comment from Normality Channel with Riley Taylor. Thank you very much for joining. Aside from Sam Kerr's court case, our ladies are giving us joy. I still watch them, still winning the title after every damn year. The lads are disappointments. Yeah, and that's one topic I was going to touch upon today is the Sam Kerr court case. Yeah, but yes, 100%. Very, very depressing. And the games that I've been to the last few months, I've been to quite a few. I just don't feel happy anymore walking at the stadium. You know, when I used to go and watch Chelsea back in my day, I used to walk out and I used to be so happy and just felt like I felt a real buzz walking at the stadium. I just don't get it anymore. I really don't get that buzz walking at the stadium. I don't get a buzz walking into the stadium because most of the time it feels like we're going to lose. Okay, you don't always go to the game being a proper fan wanting to win. You go there to watch your team, and that's the most important thing. But I just don't know. The life and soul has been sucked out of this club, and it's even. I went to Stamford Bridge to the Morecambe game, and I was literally sat just behind the goal, and I literally had to remind myself that I was sat in the shed end. I looked up, and everybody sat on their phones, or the atmosphere was dead, and it's just not the same. The last few years has not been the same atmosphere within Chelsea, and it's a shame that the club is falling in all cylinders within the fan base, within the club, the team, the ownership. The lot of it at the moment is not Chelsea, and who's to blame? Who's to blame? We can only delve into those points. Big up Dills, I can see you, brother. Big up Dills. I'm gonna go with this one here. Delves, Liam Delap Benjak said he's looking likely he's going to join. Our standards, and again, our standards shouldn't be accepting where we are now. Definitely. And that's more of a subject I'm going to touch on up in a moment. We have been linked with Liam Delap, and apparently we are in a race with Manchester United, but we're going to touch upon that shortly. I'm going to go with Jordan Evans. Thank you for joining, sir. We need a new goalkeeper in the summer. Get rid of Sanchez, possibly another defender, and most important, another striker. We have a lot of time. to get one in the door, and the squad is now low in depth since Felix went. Very, very true. And this is what I'm trying to get to with the mentality of the team. So let me just come up with something. I've got a few notes here. So if I do look down, I am looking at these notes. So summer transfer window. Have a listen to this. 12 million spent on Viega. 6 months later, he's now at Juventus. Had a brilliant game last night in the Champions League. £30 million spent on Kieran Dewsbury Hall, who has not had a look in so far. So another pointless signing who we were looking to get rid of in the January window once again. £45 million spent on Felix. 6 months, had numerous of opportunities to prove himself and never delivered. Let's be real. So that's £87 million spent on 3 players that you're looking to get rid of. £87 million. 2 of them have already left. One of them doesn't even want to come back, and one is looking to get out the door. £87 million, in my eyes, could have got you Osherman. £87 million could have got you a guy Corres. And that's the striker that we need at the club. And who is to blame for bringing these players in? You've got Felix coming out just the other day saying he does not want to return to Chelsea FC. He wants to stay at AC Milan. So what has gone wrong in such a small period of time where the guy wants out already? It's absolutely embarrassing to see. And he goes out and makes it even worse by scoring on his debut. And we're sitting there thinking, what's going on? We are throwing money at these players and we're losing. We're not even making a profit out of the players. So when people come to me and say, is this on Maresca's head? It's clearly not, because did Maresca want these players in the first place? I don't think he did. Because if Maresca did want these players, I don't think he'd want to got rid of them so soon into their careers. If he wanted Felix, he would have got rid of him. If he wanted Viega, he would have got rid of him. So can you blame such a short squad and the lack of depth in the squad on Maresca? Can you blame it on Maresca that the team are underperforming and look tired and out of ideas? No, you can't. I believe that the planning of the transfer windows have been awful, absolutely shambolic, and that's where we are now. Okay, we are in top 4 as we speak, but as time goes on, can we depend on playing the same players week in week out? Okay, we out there for a cup, but can you depend on Enzo to keep starting the same game every week? Can you depend on Caicedo to keep on starting? They're going to run out of legs, and the thing is, it's clear to see from the Everton game where it kind of went downhill that there was tired from then, and we've continued to play him week in week out. So can you blame Maresca for the way that the team has slipped off? No, we can't. It's down to the board. And I've got a good post here by Stephen Michaels. Trust the protest. Oh, let me show this right now. 1 second. Trust the protest. Playing late out. And and I'll say it again. Top 4 is a must now. Without top 4, I do not blame the fans for protesting. 3 years, 9 transfer windows into a process, and this club has gone backwards. £1.2 billion spent, and the club has gone backwards. How can you rely on a Nicholas Jackson to deliver you when you spent so much money, when there is better players in and around the world that can score goals, and we've spent so much money and we haven't got that in? So there's so much depending on this top 4 now, and even myself, I cannot stand us not being in the Champions League now, going into the third season consecutively when we spent so much money. It's a minimum required now for us to finish top 4. So it's got to happen. I'm going to go on to another comment meant by DJ Sav right now. DJ Sav, thanks for joining. Felix was only bought because our ownership wanted to buy a club from Portugal or buy a stake in Sporting Lisbon. But we're trying so hard, speaking to George Mendes, Felix agent, to help them. Makes sense. It wouldn't play. Nothing surprises me with the way they are doing the business at the moment, and with them giving something to take something back. And it's a similar scenario to Strasbourg. We have got potentially our best midfielder this season playing for Strasbourg, and we can't recall him. Sorry, one sec. We can't recall him because Strasbourg are part of the Blue Cope group. So you'd rather see your team, the main team, Chelsea, suffer than call Andre Santos back. So basically, we're doing other teams favours because we don't want to upset them. It's all about Chelsea Football Club. It's not about Strasbourg. It's not about Blue Coat. Blue Coat. It's not about anything else. It's about us having the squad depth. It's about us getting back into top four. And it's clearly not the ambition for this club. It's not the ambition for Chelsea to be back in the top four and winning trophies, as we would have never have got rid of him in the first place. We would have not had signed this player from France that we signed. We would have recalled Santos or even recalled Okuchuku from Southampton to give us that depth. But it's the way that this club's been run and the plan is and everything else shows me and all the fans that they are not bothered if or not we qualify. And it's a shame. It's an absolute shame and a disgrace. I'm going to go back to another comment by Stephen Michaels. When you have a co-owner involved in Vivid Seat controversy and no accountability till now, we need to protest now. 100%. 150%. And I'm just going to touch upon plenty of subjects. And I'm going to go, the first one I'm going to touch upon before is that I'm going to go into the latest news once again. Todd Bowley. Just give me 1 second, please. 1 second. So, Todd Bowley, once again in the news. And it's not even Chelsea Football Club. So let me just get this up. I'll give it a set. So, as you probably are aware, Chelsea co-owner Todd Bowley buys into 100 franchise Trent Rockets for £40 million, according to the Telegraph. Okay, so now our owner has now bought shares into a cricket club and is now the minority shareholder in Trent Rockets. Okay. Also, with that in mind, he has also only last week had a breach of trust from the Chelsea supporters group, who are very angry that he's charging fans £9,000 for tickets on the website called Vivid Trust, all within a space of a week. This is in the space of a week. He's spending money, probably taking profits out of the club to put into other clubs. He's not prioritising Chelsea. The £40 million he spent on some cricket club, that could have gone towards another striker for us. They're clearly taking money out and investing it into other businesses and other equities. And it's a clear pattern what we're seeing here. So it's just absolutely baffling that we haven't protested yet. And the protest has got to be on the agenda for all of us. Okay. I don't like to come on and speak badly on Chelsea, and I'm not bought. I just feel like I like to speak as positive as possible. But when you see these things coming up every week about your owners and what they're doing to this club, it goes to show where the priorities are. And we're just going to slip further and further back. And like I said, if top four isn't a successful thing at the end of the season, we've all got to come in our numbers and get them out, because enough's enough now. We cannot continue to see what we have witnessed. I've got a message here from Jordan Evans. Do you think some of the players will leave Chelsea if Chelsea don't get Champions League next season? If we don't get top four, I'll be fuming. And why is Todd Bowley buying a cricket club? What's all that about? Same question I asked myself. Same question I asked myself. Why is a cricket club a priority right now? £40 million is spent at the cricket club could have gone into Chelsea Football Club. Why is he doing it now? It's just like the end of the transfer window's gone only a couple of days ago, and it's already putting money into a cricket club. After it came out last week that the Chelsea supporters, Chelsea fans club, are fuming at him that he's invested into another company called Vivid Seats. It does show, does this guy care about Chelsea? Do these owners care about Chelsea? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. And it's clear to see they don't. So we will continue to fall back. We will continue to have the same windows every single year. But we are not going out and signing elite players around the world. We're going out and signing youngsters, developing them, sending them to Strasbourg, bringing them back, buying, selling them on for profit. That's the only way for Chelsea now. Winning leagues, winning trophies, getting the Champions League, and having the best players around the world and competing is not a priority. And it's a shame to say that. Moving on from the Todd Bowley and the Bayern Cricket Club situation, another breaking news, which came out yesterday, which this made me laugh a tiny bit, to be fair. It made me laugh. Sam Kerr. So we're going on to the ladies' part of the football club now. Sam Kerr has been let off by the police for racially aggravated assault in January 2003. And this, so basically, she has meant to have called a cop, PC Lavelle, a stupid effing white, effing stupid and white, right? But the thing that what gets me is, isn't she white herself? I'm not seeing something here. Isn't Sam Kerr white herself? So how could she? I just don't get how she'd be so stupid to call someone a white something. I mean, she's white herself. But yeah, she's got away with that. Very, very luckily, because if that was anyone else who called a police officer a racist name, would probably be sitting inside H&P right now. So parents herself very lucky that she has got away with that. But yeah, moving away from that one, I'm gonna go into another comments in the chat. Please also get the likes up for us, subscribe if you've subscribed, and please bear with me as this is my first live, so I am getting used to how to get myself and use all the bits and bobs on the StreamYard. So please bear with me. So yeah, Stephen Michaels, did Milof Bowley brought the cricket club with Vivid Seats profits? That wouldn't surprise me at all. Also, it wouldn't surprise me if he used profit from the players that have got loan deals, or I just don't know. It's just very fishy how he has brought a club only 12 days after the transfer window. He has just brought another club, and yeah, it's just the timing of it all, especially when it came out that he's selling tickets to people in America for $9,000. Just does not care. Does not care about the club. Does not care about invested in the best. So this is where we are. This is where we are at. Run up the likes, everybody. I'm gonna go for another comment from DJ Sav. You know it's peak when we're hiring when we're hiring a former rugby player to help with leadership and with a winning mentality to our squad. A rugby player when you cannot call on legends to do this job. I've seen the news. I just think with that one, it's a mentality issue within the dressing room, and maybe someone who has been there, done it in another sport. There's nothing wrong with coming from another sport and trying to do it in football. Maybe someone of his stature can try and have an impact on the young lads in the dressing room. But I don't feel that that's the best way to do it. I think we need leadership on the field. I feel like we've sold Thiago Silva in the summer, and we haven't replaced the leadership on the field. So yeah, it's just all very, very weird. The stuff that's going on in the club at the moment. Rugby players, cricket clubs, tickets. What about the stuff that's going on the field? What about the transfers? There's nothing coming out from the board to say they're unhappy about us being knocked at the FA Cup when fans are absolutely fuming about it. What's going on with Chelsea Football Club? There's so much other stuff going on, but it's kind of papering over the fact that how poor we are performing on the pitch right now. Yeah, and this is the thing that which is getting me angry. I've got another one from Mo. I want Maresca out. He's injuring our players. Foreign the James and Lavia by the Sheila Jackson, and he can't beat big teams out of competitions, are not making top four, and he's got a losing mentality. Exactly my point. And I'm just going to try and share a video if I can, or share some comments from Todd Bowley. Yeah. So Todd Bowley, not Todd Bowley. Let's talk about Maresca. Let's talk about Maresca. So Maresca's came out after the loss and said that he's disappointed, quote unquote. He's disappointed, but now we can focus on the league. Focus on the league. So in what way do you want to focus on the league? Top four, winning it, getting back to winning ways. I just don't know where the priorities are. Because for me personally, as a man who shows, if you've just been knocked out to Brighton, let's be real, poor Brighton, he just got hit for 7 the week before. I would be absolutely livid. This is your chance to get your hands on a domestic trophy, and we're not going to win the league. So the mentality from top to bottom is very weak, and it's coming from the manager. You are coming out and telling us supporters that we're just going to focus on the league now. It's okay for us to be at the F.A Cup because we can focus on the league. And this is where the mentality of the team is in the mud. The mentality of the club is in the mud. Under a Roman Abramovich, he probably would have got back to Stamford Bridge. He would have probably been sacked on the way home for getting knocked out in the FA Cup. Now it's acceptable for us to be knocked out. It's acceptable. It's acceptable for us to go and get knocked out of Carabao Cup to Newcastle. These stuff are becoming more acceptable, and the mentality within the club now is very mid. We're talking about a mid-table mentality now, and it's down to the board. So it's down to the board. It's down to the board. I'm going to go ahead again from another message in the chat from Sean Monk. Maresca should focus on getting and not getting sacked the way we are playing. I'm just going to touch upon the way we're playing and the games I've watched. Very boring, side to side football, pragmatic, slow approach, no energy. We're not finishing our chances. Defensively, we are leaking goals again. Like I said at the start of the live, defensively we could have done better against Brighton. So it's not good. It's not good. But I am not jumping on the Maresca bandwagon because he has been dealt a shit pack of cards. Defensively, we haven't got the leadership. Attacking wise, we haven't got a player to put the ball in the net consistently. The midfield depth is not strong enough. So I cannot come at Maresca for this. It's got to be um, it's got to be accountable. It's got to be held more to the board members and the people bringing the players in and the people planning to bring the players in. I believe if Maresca had better players within the squad, would have been a lot better. So, we have to take what we've got. But as far as I'm concerned, we are still in and around a top four position, and that's where we need to be. Another message from Mo. I'm gonna go to Jordan Evans first. So Jordan Evans, Todd Bowley doesn't care about Chelsea or the owners. When Abramovich took over the club, every transfer window we kept spending and spending, sacked Todd Bowley and bring Abramovich back with passion. Well, I speak for a lot of fans here. I speak for every Chelsea fan. But Roman Abramovich, what he brought this club and what he meant to this club and what he achieved in such a short period of time and the longevity and the stuff that he's done. I can't speak bad to them all, but I do not think the English government will let him back, unfortunately. And the position he left the club in, you've got to think, yeah, he left the club debt free. We was £1.5 million in debt. He cleared the debts and he sold the club for next to nothing. He left his club in the best the best the best kind of in the best position for us to move forward. Let's say, sorry about that. The best position for us to move forward, and all we have to do is invest in the best. And I believe that the first transfer window under Bowley, we were doing the right things. We were aiming for the right players. I mean, we bought Aubameyang, we bought Sterling, bought Koulibaly. We was buying experienced players. I just feel like it didn't go to plan. I feel like we kind of rushed it. We've gone with that model. Hasn't worked, and we completely changed and jumped on this bio youth because that didn't work. And it's completely flipped from one side of the spectrum to the other. And this model that we're going through now is nowhere near the Chelsea model. We are going for youth players. We're signing players that we never heard of. I heard in the week we signed a player from Kazakhstan. We signed a player from a 16-year-old from Kazakhstan. Okay, I don't know him. It could be the next Messi for all I know. But when you see the repetitive pattern of us signing youngster after youngster after youngster after youngster, this is it now. There's no point of getting our hopes up. Like I like to think that we're gonna go and buy a Go Corbs. We're gonna go and buy a Bastoni. We're gonna go and buy world class midfielder, but we're not. I have got no hope in it now. I just know. Like comes to transfer window, I see us linked. We are linked with everybody FC. I see it. We get linked with everybody, and we go and buy more youngsters again. So do not get your hopes built up in the future for us going and buying quality because it's not going to happen. We had the opportunity to do it in the summer with Usherman, and we couldn't match his wages. So there you go. So I'm going to go for another comment by S. Kev, Maresca's style of playing coaching is shit, and he's got a loser mentality. He's reactive, not proactive, just like Posh. He also has his favourite, so ostracizing others is out of his depth. And I cannot argue with that, S. I cannot argue with that. I can argue with some points. I feel his style of football isn't that bad. I feel like he has changed it around. I think with Pochettino, there wasn't a clear style of play. I think under Maresca there is. He's clearly got his favourites, yes. He starts the same players week in, week out, but is that down to him? I think if he had a bigger squad, he could have rotated it more. But yeah, if we finish top four, get Champions League and win the Conference League, I say that as a successful season. If we win the Conference Cup, Conference League, whatever it's called, and don't get Champions League, questions need to be asked about him and also the people upstairs as well. So it's a massive end to the season that we're looking at right now. DJ Sav, it was only 2 months ago when Maresca said in his post-match that top four was not a priority. This is when we were second in the league before Christmas. Now, fast forward to Feb, we have the same Prem conference to play for. And yeah, you're right. There's so much contradictory words that's coming out his mouth. It's when we were second, he clearly stated that we weren't in a title race. We're down into the top four. We out of the FA Cup. Now we're saying that we can prioritise the league. So where's the middle ground here? Where's the middle ground? Like just because the FA Cup now, we can prioritise the league when you should be prioritising the league anyway and prioritising the FA Cup. But that goes to show about his mentality as a manager. Maybe he's not quite there yet. Maybe he hasn't got that winning mentality to push us through because as Chelsea football, every manager that steps foot, every manager steps foot in Chelsea have always had a winning mentality. Even Posh, to an extent, he did win at PSG. Maresca has only won the championship. So that goes to show the mentality comes from the manager downwards. And when you say you're not in the league race, and then 2 months later, when you're at the FA Cup, say that we now can focus on the league, you are right. And S, you've got it hit the nail on the head. Maresca catfished us. He's catfished us and he's confused at the same time. It's bad. It's really bad. I'm going to go for another comment from Mo. Maresca fell off at Leicester City, nearly bottom of the championship. He fell off at Chelsea, got 4 wins in the last 14 games. His passing needs to go if he doesn't get top four or top five or lose the Conference League. And once again, I feel like he's going to be a scapegoat for bad planning within the transfers. I do honestly believe that some of the blame's on him. I believe that the loss against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, he has to take blame for that for starting such a poor team, weakened squad. Starting Sanchez against Brighton when you could have started Jorgensen, your best team. You have to take some accountability for that. Poor substitutes in the second half as well. Like you said in the comment before, a bit reactive than proactive. But I just don't think. I just feel like we always go back to the managers when we obviously need to look further up now. Okay, we can't go through 6 managers and still be in the same position. It's got to come from clear late now. It's got to be the board of directors who are signing these players, they are the ones that we need to go for first more than Maresca come summer. Even if we don't finish Champions League, Maresca shouldn't be made accountable. We've got to go for the board now. It's time for them to change the model. Okay, so moving away from the news with Chelsea. Okay, moving away from a bit of Chelsea news at the moment. So much different topics to talk about. Okay, so it's going to go into a couple bits and bobs about the transfers. Okay, so according to Court Offside, we are planning a £70 million bid for the midfielder Pablo Barrios. The talented 21-year-old midfielder has impressed in the La Liga and could be fine of investment for Chelsea as they look to keep putting together a squad containing the best youngsters from around the world. Atletico are not keen to sell, according to Spanish outlets, but reports state that Chelsea are prepared to come with a big offer for the player this summer. The Blues already have a strong midfield with Enzo Mosquedo, but arguably not much depth. Could Pablo Barrios be heading to Chelsea this summer? Okay, so anybody in the chat know about Pablo Barrios? I don't know anything about him. But yet again, another 21-year-old what we've been linked with. I'm not against the idea of signing 20-year-olds, especially when we've signed Cole Palmer for that age and look at what he's done. But when you see there's clearly no leadership, no leaders, no maturity within this squad, we're having to get ex-rugby players to come in to the dressing room now. Where does the planning come into it? Where does the model? I can't seem to figure out the model and what we're doing here. When does Marco Verratti, I've seen today, he's looking to come back to Europe. Marco Verratti, I think he's 29 or 30, world-class midfielder, leader, is captain Italy, is captain PSG. Why not go for someone of that caliber? Okay, with leadership qualities. Why are we continuing to go for youngsters? And for me personally, if we have another transfer window of it, it's all our fault because we can do something about it. Okay, so that's one transfer we've been linked with. Also, according to the Football Insider, we are linked with Liam Delap, and he's a pro. So Man United and Chelsea are both keen on the potential summer deal for Ipswich Town star Liam Delap. The 22-year-old has caught the eye of top Premier League sides with performance for the Tractor Boys this term. Ipswich are one of the favourites to get relegated to top flight despite a successful season. Last summer, signing Delap for Manchester City last summer, it is believed that Kieran McKenna's side find it extremely difficult to keep the power striker at Portman Road. Man United and Chelsea are front runners to sign Liam Delap. So more transfer needs there. And in the chat, what do you feel like about Liam Delap? Obviously, a player that gave us a lot of problems in the fixture at Portman Road only a couple of weeks ago. He gave us a lot of problems. But is he the kind of player that's going to solve the problems? This is the question. These are the questions that need to be asked. The board need to be asking it. With Stanley, needs to be asking questions. Need to be doing their homework. Can a Liam Delap get us 20 to 30 goals next term? Because that's what we need. Jackson has proved that he can't do it. I'm going to go through the comments before I touch up on other subjects. Jordan Evans, once again, we've been linked with Douglas Luiz, Duran Sexesco, and Garnacho, rumoured really bad for me. We didn't need him at all. He would have not solved any problems within this Chelsea team. Garnacho. But I said from the start that was just fabricated nonsense. Like, come on, Garnacho, that's not the caliber of a player that we need right now. What is the point spending £65 million on a winger that hasn't contributed within the team that he's playing now? The priority should be experienced centre back, experienced midfield, and a world class midfielder. We don't even need a goalkeeper. We've got that much goalkeepers on loan. Petrovic being one that he could come back and do a pretty good job next year. So we just need 3 more players of one centre back of experience, a midfielder with experience and a bit of leadership, and a striker that's going to get us 20 to 30 goals. And we keep them going. We are now in 9 winners in the transfer, and we're still talking about what we needed 3 years ago, and we still haven't got it yet. We just continue to go and sign mid players and then go and loan them out only 6 months later. So it's just awful. Just awful. It really is. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to be joined very shortly for the last half an hour or so of the live. Going to be joined by Dills. I'm going to be joined by Lil Benno. And they're going to come up with questions and answers for people in the chat. Feel free to join in. I'm going to go to another comments by the Chelsea boy 1234. Who are we going to play up front now? Jackson is injured. There's only one clear player there, unfortunately, bro. With Mark Guehi being out, apparently out for 3 months. We're looking at Nkunku, and it just doesn't give us anything there. It's just a shame to see. I just don't know what's happening right now. We could have kept on to Felix and started him there, but now we are struggling. We are struggling. We haven't got Jackson's running. We haven't got Jackson's energy. We're not going to miss his goals because he hasn't scored in a few games. But we are now left with Nkunku, who doesn't do anything for us in that position at all. I just feel like he's absolutely wasted. When you play him in the number 9, he's nowhere to be seen. So it's just unfortunate that it's happening to us. But it's a shame on us. The planning in this January transfer window when we already knew what we needed and we haven't got it. So it's only on the board's head now for us to go and replace Jackson. I'm going to go with another comment. Excellent talent. The lap push off defenders, like they're not there. As an exit shot on him, it reminds me of a young Harry Kane. And Costa in terms of strength. For me, Victor Gyökeres is first choice. Victor Gyökeres is first choice for me as well. No doubt about that. 67 goals. No, 65 goals in the calendar year. Okay, in the Portuguese league, but to score that many goals in any league, Sunday league level, is absolutely astonishing. And you can pick him up 85, 90 million pounds. And the 3 players that I mentioned at the start of the chat, Viega, Felix, and KDH, if you're not assigned them 3 players you're looking to go for, and put that money, you could have got a guy Corres. But it just goes to show the mentality of the team right now. So give me 1 second. Oh, brother, you need to put me on the cam. 1 second. I've got a couple of people looking to join on. Give me 1 second, please. All right, let me figure out this. Question. 1 second. Leave the questions there before. One set. One set. Settings. Oh, guess. Give me 1 second. Sorry. One set. Right. So we've got question. Oh yeah. So we've got. So question. Kev, what players has Maresca improved in your eyes? Interesting question. Oof. I think Caicedo would be 100%. I think Casado's been phenomenal this season. I think towards the back end of last season, we shown glimpses of improvement under Posh, but I think his game has been taken to another level. And that's down to tactics. I feel like he's getting a lot more cover from Cucurella and Gusto in the inverted system. So maybe it's to the tactics, but he looks to be shining a lot more under Enzo Maresca. Another player for me would probably be. That'll literally be it, to be fair, brother. That'll probably be it. So 1 second before I go into the questions, I'm going to add in our guest tonight, Benjamin, your bell, and I'm going to add in Phil's.
Big up, big up,
Nice
big up, big up.
one, boys.
What's going on, boys? You right?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing all right, doing all right. Hear me?
Yeah.
Are you right, boys?
Yeah, good, man.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? No.
Can you hear me?
I literally cannot hear you. One sec. That's weird. 1 sec, lads. How comes I can't hear you? I can hear all three. I can't hear none of you.
I can hear you.
So why is it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
1 sec.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, boys. I literally can't hear you. Give me 1 sec. Let me try and get this working. So how comes I can't hear nothing? Oh, 1 sec. I got it. Set. Apologies in the chat. Give me 1 sec. So headphones, speaker. Oh. Okay, boys. Speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what about now?
Can't hear you. What the hell? Wait, stop playing for my. Why is not playing for you? Go on, speak again.
I can't hear you now.
Audio, speaker, tech. Right, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
You, yeah?
Can you hear me?
Benjamin, speak.
Yo.
I can't hear you.
Hey.
Kev, can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on there.
Kev, can you hear me?
I do apologise. Everyone in the chat, I do apologise for this. Bear me 1 second. Bear me one sec.
Hey, Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Having issues. I literally can't hear a word he's saying, boys. Well, okay, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue without me hearing, but it's so weird that I cannot hear a word any of you saying. Ben, can you speak again for me? Ben, can you hear me? Why is it doing that? Right. All right, we're gonna go through. Technical difficulties. Yes, I do apologize. Technical difficulties. I cannot hear a word anyone saying. So we're just going to continue to chat. Okay, we're going to continue to chat. So, touching up on a few more conversations with Chelsea, I'm going to go into a very, very important part of the show. Okay, so we're going to go through the fixtures that we have in front of us up until the end of the season. Okay, so we have in the Premier League, we have Brighton away, Villa away, Southampton at home, Leicester at home, Arsenal away, Tottenham at home, Brentford away, Ipswich at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, then Man United away, and Forest to finish off. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna come up with a point tally to the end of the season and where I feel like we are going to finish. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I can't hear you. I've literally feels I cannot hear you. I'm plugging my headphones in here. Give me one sec. Let me try and put this back in one more time. Cannot hear a word. Okay, Dill, speak now. It's doing my head in. 1 second, boys. Open sound settings. All right, give me one computer. Oh, right, okay. Maybe this is the reason why. Okay, Benno, speak now. Okay, Benno.
Yo.
Yo. Yes, Benno, I can hear you now. Okay, you okay?
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, okay. Finally. So, Dills, if you want to enter Dills, if you can hear me, if you want to enter Dills, you're welcome to jump on. And I do apologize to the 22 people watching about the technical difficulty, but we are back on.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab my water. Hang on.
Okay, Dills, if you want to jump on, mate, you are more than welcome to jump on. Okay? So, Dills, if you want to send the invite, click the link and jump on. But yes, Mr. Benno.
Yo.
Thank you for jumping on. How are we, sir? How are we doing? How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been good, man. Been good. How about you? Been all right?
Brilliant, mate. As always, brilliant. As always, you know, we're just here talking about Chelsea and seeing if we can make sense of the nonsense that is going on. Okay?
Yeah, well, it never stops, does it? It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, but you know, it's not the end of the world. We're at the FA Cup. You know, and for me, the thing got me upset about it. Yes, Dills, if you want to jump back on, Dills, you can jump back on. So, Dills, if you want to jump back on, you are more than welcome. But yeah, the comments coming from the manager after the game, you know, goes to show the mentality of the team. When your team has just been up to the FA Cup and you're saying that it's not that bad, we can now focus on the league. It goes to show how far we've fallen back, and it's a massive contradiction from what he was saying only like a few weeks ago. When we were second, it was are we in a title race? No, we aren't. A few weeks later, we're out the FA Cup. We can now prioritise the league. So where's the middle ground here?
Yeah, see,
yeah,
I was I watched I mean whatever games I can't get to, I always watch no matter what. Watching that game was so painful. It just, at no point did I think we were, one thing, at no point I thought we were going to win. Even when we went 1-0 up from luck that we had, I had my thinking in my brain and my heart just knew that we weren't going to win. I just seen it. It was pedestrian. It was boring. We had no fight. It's like, and I had a question to throw out there. Are we seeing the old Chelsea from last season? Like, are we seeing that again? Because that's the only thing I can see in the last few games. Well, not few. I say the last 2 months now, since we've fallen off that cliff. All I'm seeing is the old Chelsea from last season. No fight, pedestrian, boring, no ideas, and it was kind of sad because we started off the season so well, and then you just watch that football and go, wow. Like, and
I said the same thing, Ben. I said the same thing. I am not getting the buzz from Chelsea when I walk at the stadium now. I literally just want to get in my car and go home. I don't feel, you know, I've been to so many games with Chelsea under the Roman Abramovich era where I walk out and I feel like, yeah, man, I feel happy to watch Chelsea, even at our bleakest moments. No, it's there's a lot of factors with it. It's the fans are not the same anymore. A lot of foreign fans in the stadium. Nothing against them, but they're not bringing the same atmosphere. The football, the players, the lot of it. It's Chelsea. It's not Chelsea, bro. It's not. It's not Chelsea, bro.
What you just said there, Kev, about the fans at Stamford Bridge. Touch base on that. I actually was going to bring that up with you. So this thing about seats and vivid seats and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now look, I haven't read too much into the whole aspect of what's I guess happening with all that. The only thing I've seen was Todd Bowley's obviously got this company or tickets that, I mean, most Premier League clubs, not just us, use, etc. But touch base on the fans at Stamford Bridge. When I watched West Ham at home, I couldn't even hear Carefree going around Stamford Bridge. That chant, I couldn't even hear it. Not once did I hear Carefree, and that's normally normally like a chant.
It's a normal. It's the. Listen to this, bro. I went the last game, and probably the last game I'm going to go to at the bridge for a while. Me and my dad and my son, first ever game for Chelsea together as a treble. Sat in the shed, and I was literally stood. The goal there, I was stood right behind the goal. I remember looking. I looked up, and the whole shed end behind me. I looked up, and I was like, "What is this, bro?" I was like, "What is this, bro?"
Yeah.
Like I looked up. I got like 12, 13,000 people. You can hear a pin drop. I was like, what is this about? And this is why I refuse to go to the bridge. I am not. I go to games for the atmosphere more.
Do you think it's like it because Kev? Do you think it's like it because we're not winning?
Before you jump on, welcome Dills on the show. Thanks for joining, brother.
Yeah, well, big
up, Ben. Big up.
Everybody in the chat, Dills has got a broken arm, so I wish him well in the chat.
Yeah,
wish him well. Yeah, wish him well. But Dills, jump on. Thank you very much for jumping on and continue what he was going to say. What was you going to say about the?
Do you think it's because of we're not winning? Do you think that's the reason why the fans are being quiet, or do you think it's because of the way the performances are and you know?
I think there's three factors to this. I reckon one is the performances. Two, I think this thing about having not our normal fans going to the games, that's not also helping. Now, again, nothing against other people coming to the games and things like that. Absolutely not. Like, yes, please come along and support Chelsea, but that doesn't help. And then you've, I mean, you know, even sitting in Westview, that I have a few times, that I share a ticket with a friend every now and then. He hates sitting there. He gives them away half the time if I can't make it. Hates sitting there because he goes, no one's even up there watching the football. Like, and it's like, and it's crap to say this, but when you listen to, you know, your Liverpool and your Arsenal fans and things like that at home, you can still hear that solid when everything's going right for the team and they're up 1-0, whatever. You can hear it. You can hear that.
And then even in a draw, even when we're drawing, and when we're drawing in a game and the game's on, like you hear our fans go quiet, and it was like a sense of like once we drop a goal, yeah, people the fans go quiet, and I don't know what it is. It's like they go very silent, and it doesn't help the team either. It doesn't help the team.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely doesn't help the team. And it's hard. And again, like I don't condone on booing players and things like that. I just think it's you know, like another mate of mine, you know, he's going on about, you know, Jackson the other day. Oh, he's this, he's that. I said, but then have a look at the game against Brighton. Like, look at Nkunku. He doesn't even run. Like, at least Jackson put effort in. And with and we're yelling at a player who's trying to put effort in and doing it like and getting upset. I know he doesn't finish chances, and look, that's just the nature of the beast. You're always going to get criticised for that, but we should be trying to lift that up spirit for these players, especially Jackson and things like that. Because in fairness, when I watched that Brighton game, wow, did we miss Jackson? I thought we lacked. I don't even know what we were up front. And
Ben,
Kinker's running. And
Ben,
Kinker's running
Ben,
around with his head
Ben and
covered.
Kev, Ben and Kev, yeah. You see that in terms of the transfer market in January, because we never really bought anybody in January. Do you think it might cost us to get in top four? Do you think it might cost us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it will. I think it will. When you consider that, let me just go 1 second before. 1 second, S. I'll bring a comment up in a second. But yeah, when you consider Man City have gone out, strengthened the whole team. Got a striker, got a midfielder, got a centre back, and then we're talking and two midfielders. Let's say 4 class players, spent 180 million pounds. Villa have gone out and proved to everybody that there is players available at a quality standard. Asensio, Rashford, strength in depth. Arsenal, not so much. I believe Arsenal have got enough to finish in the top 3 already. Nottingham Forest looking like they're not going to slip up, making easy work of teams that we're losing to.
Villa strengthened. Villa also strengthened.
And that's without Newcastle.
Do you know what's annoying though? Do you know what's annoying? We can spend 100 mil in a January market on Enzo Fernandez, but we can't do it for a striker that we actually need.
Do you know what? I know exactly what you mean, and I sit here and I'm surprised I've still got hair because I'm literally looking at that what you just said there, Deals. What you go and spend the 100 mil on Fernandez, you go and spend 100 mil on Casado. That's brilliant, but we've got no end product now. We've got no one at the front to help Palmer and things like that. And like everyone then was cracking down on Neto the other day. Well, he's not doing this, not doing that. Who's he got to give it to? Like he gets
when you look at Maresca though, when you look at Maresca, his choice decision making in terms of the players, even when we had Felix and Nkuku, do you think that his decision making of picking them into the team, do you think he doesn't rate their qualities? Do you think he doesn't rate them?
Yeah, I feel like with Felix, I feel like Felix wanted out. I don't think it was Maresca's decision to let him go. AC Milan wanted him. He wanted out.
Yeah.
Chelsea know they could have got. I think what was it? Is it 11 million pounds or something we got for the loan with an option to buy?
Yeah.
We'll probably make the money that we've got back on him. But when you think about it like this, when you signed a player 45 million within 6 months, he's already gone to another team, and he's already performed in his first 2 games to a good standard. Goes to show about the club and the mentality of the club. And he's all and said after his first game, I do not want to return to Chelsea. You've what
about this then? Do you guys? Here's a question for you. Do you guys have trust in Maresca? Do you think he's? I guess 2 things to say it this way. Do you have trust in him, and do you think he is making decisions, or do you think it's going to come down to what we had previously, and the sporting directors are the ones behind the scenes of making decisions, and unfortunately, Maresca's going to get stuck with the squad, and he's just going to end up failing again.
I think we're in the same situation that we've been in the say all 3 other managers. The only difference that it is where the position in the league where we are. That's the only difference.
I have to agree.
The thing is, Maresca's going to end up being a scapegoat again, and us fans can see there's a clear improvement for me than last season. Not, I wouldn't say black and white, but there is a progression with other on-the-field tactics for me personally. There's a clear style of play. Last season, I couldn't tell if we was a counter-attacking team, a high-pressing team. It was all over the place. Now we know the tactics is clearly implemented the style. So I feel like at the end of the season, if when we don't, because I don't think we're going to get it, when we don't get top 4, he's going to be in the top, in the back pages. He hasn't achieved, and it's all going to be on him. When really it's down to the board members with Stanley and the rest of them that haven't given him the pack of cards to
And
get
Egg
him to the
Barley.
top.
And Egg Barley. Egg
Oh,
Egg
Barley has a
Barley
lot
yeah.
to say.
and the
Yeah.
Egg Barley, even higher than that. The board of directors first, but the people higher than that are telling him, because they are obviously instructing these lot to go and sign the best of the young players, to loan them out to Strasbourg, bring them back and loan them out. So the scapegoats, it's going to go down, it's going to go to Maresca, but really it should be the people in the middle. If not that, the people at the top. But it's always going to lie on the manager, and that's not fair. We've been through the same recurring
same- it's
issues.
just-
Let me
it's
ask
the
you
same
lot a
cycle.
question. Do you think Maresca is very stubborn in the way that he picked his squad lineup? Because I look at it, yeah, certain times that the way he picks his lineup, it feels like we've been found out the way that we want to play a little bit, and he hasn't got no other choice. He hasn't got no other choice of making a decision of changing it up. Why do you think that is?
I think we have. Well, I think the market has also not helped him, and this goes back then to the board again, because like if you remember rightly, when we went into the Conference League, we had not that it was this, but we had an A team and a B team, right? And in fairness, it was working because your likes of Vega, your Felix, your Inkunkus, and stuff like that, and Dewsbury Hall, they were playing, but they were keeping fit. I think somewhere along the lines, for some whatever reason it may be, whether it's the high up top or whatever, someone said something to him, and he's gone, oh shit, okay, I better change it again and put these players in with the starting 11 that I've been using. And if you haven't noticed, where Felix was then put on the bench, but he wasn't using him. So then that's when the questions from the fans started going, oh, but you're not using Felix, and you're not. And yeah. I think two things: it helped him in certain ways doing that, but it's also now it's backfiring a bit. And then this Nkunku situation where he's unhappy. Is he staying? Is he going? Now he's had to throw him back in, I guess, the lineup. And now that's backfiring because Nkunku's just not doing anything for the team. So do you know what? Going back to, is he stubborn? He is stubborn. But then do you question the stubbornness? Because last year we were upset that Poch didn't stick to his guns and he was changing. Now Maresca does stick to his guns and we don't like it. It's a hard one. I feel for Maresca a bit, and only because, again, there's no support from up top. Now, for all we know, Maresca's probably gone upstairs and said, I need a number 9, I need a centre back, and I need a midfielder. Because and a goalkeeper, sorry, let's not forget about the goalkeeper. If you look at the hindsight, that's all we need to do is strengthen. Now, if you had to do it bit by bit, I would start with the goalkeeper and a centre back. That's where it needs. I get we lack of options up front and stuff like that, but we can still score. But we haven't done the basics right because we can't defend.
You can't.
We can't.
Mate, look at the first goal. I talked about it. Look at the first goal. This is basic defending. How are you going to allow a centre forward to get in between your two centre backs?
Oh yeah.
I wonder the backline. I wonder in the backline that we've always conceded silly
Yeah.
goals in within the line, within the space.
This is basic defending. If I can see his back, if I can see his number on his back, I need to be either in front of him or in his back. The guy's got a gap from here. You're in Southampton. I'm in Stoke. There was a gap from here to Southampton in between those centre backs.
Yeah.
Sanchez wasn't even a proper goalkeeper. Would be like, look, lads, look, pick him up. The guy's just gone and headed it in 1-1. And these are the same patterns happening on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
The defense is
Yeah.
not cut hands. It's
Well,
not.
you know what that comes down to. You know what that comes down to.
Leadership. Do you think if Thiago Silva was in that defense on Friday or Saturday, whatever, that would have happened? No, it would have. Because
No.
he would have commanded.
No,
He would have
you're
been like,
right. Yeah.
he would have been like, Shaloba, you look, you got to get in front of him. Or this is what I'm saying. And we continue to go and sign 21-year-olds.
Do you know what's annoying? Do you know what's annoying? Yeah, as much as Chalobah's come back, yeah, he's our best centre back, 100%. But again, at the same time, we need better than Chalobah. We need a
Yeah.
centre back, that comes with age, at least at 28 or 27 or 29. I'm not saying about Tostin because Tostin is not a quality of Chelsea standards. I'm talking about Bastoni. I'm talking about that type of level of centre back we need at our club. You know what I mean? We don't need.
Yeah, I agree.
And the thing is though, yeah, I you know, I play Football Manager and I always go for them kind of players. I used to dream. We've all been there. We've all us. You know, this is what we want. We want the best. We want Bastonis. We want top class centre backs. But let's be real about it. We are not going to get them, bro. The time is done.
Why is it though? Do you think it's because of the wage, the difference of wage?
The wages, the structure, it's not that. They're going to go and scout an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20 with the potential to be a Bastoni. And if he doesn't get to that level, ship him out.
Yeah, it's all
That's
about
they're not going to do it, bro. Them days are done, bro.
Yeah,
it's
a flipping game to them. It's a flipping game. They bring players in and they ship them out. What we can see and what is now I think a lot of people are starting to see as fans. Because at first I guess you got to trust that what they're saying. You got to trust the process. You got to now 3 years are gone and it's the same shit. And it's
like what Lampard said. It's like what Lampard said in an interview. As much as Lampard wasn't a good manager, he still knew how to get the best out of certain players. And even when he came back that time for that little stint, remember when he came back for that little time for that little stint?
But the thing is, the thing is though, that wasn't his fault though. When he came back, just think what he came back to.
But when he came back, when he came back that time, and he said he done an interview, was even speaking about it. He said the difference of quality in terms of players. He said that we didn't have the quality in terms of sense, and that is true. That is true. And I look back at that and think, okay, cool. You're actually saying something here about these ownership. This ownership is not good enough to get us good players. It's not.
No. And the thing is,
okay, let's just finish it up there because we haven't got long left on the live. Okay, we've touched upon transfer. We've touched upon what's going on at the moment. There's one thing, a bit of fun to finish up. Okay, I'm going to go through the last few fixtures, and also people in the chat. You can also have your opinions as well. Okay, so we have got the remaining Premier League fixtures left. I'm going to go through each one of the games, and I want you to tell me how many points we think we are going to pick up. Okay, and I want you to be honest. Okay, starting on Friday the 14th of Feb, Valentine's Day. Okay, Brighton away, coming off a 2-1 loss only 6 days before. Do we get the 3 points or draw? Bills, I'm going to go with you first.
I'm going. Yeah. We get the 3 points just about.
So 3 points Bills. I'm going to go with Lil Ben. What are we saying?
I'm going to say draw.
Draw. So draw. So 3 points stills, draw. Okay. I'm gonna go with a draw. Okay. Aston Villa away next Saturday, late kickoff. Win, lose, or draw. Bills first.
I'm gonna go with a loss. I think we'll lose to Villa.
And any score predictions for that one? Bills?
I said we're probably gonna lose to
I
Villa.
know. Okay, I know. Little Ben.
I'm really worried about Villa. I think we might. We're definitely going to lose.
Yeah.
It could potentially be a 3-0 loss.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
just watched them. I watched them play the other day,
It's Villa. It's Tottenham.
and my God, when they go forward, whoa.
Yeah.
And
Got
yeah,
some quality, man. They've got some quality. They
Yeah.
really have. Okay, Southampton at home. It's got to be 3 points, hasn't it, boys?
I think we get the three. I think we get the 3 points because we've got different quality in terms of that can change the game. So I think that's why we'll win that one.
Okay, Little Ben.
yeah, we did. We beat Southampton. Yeah. Yeah.
We beat Southampton. So
Yeah.
3 points there. Chelsea v Leicester at home. Win, lose, or draw. I think that's a comfortable 3 points again.
It should be a win.
A win. Bills.
It should be a win. It should be. I think, but I watched Leicester. I watched Leicester against
Man United.
Man United, and I thought
They made it hard for them.
can they cause us a little problems maybe in the attack,
Yeah.
but I don't think they got anything in the midfield to cause us problems. So I think it'll be a win for us. I think it'll be a win for us, that one.
Okay. Arsenal v Chelsea at the Emirates, 16th of March. Time to be arranged. Is that a win, loss, or a draw?
Well, it depends. It depends if Arsenal have the same injuries if they do as when we're coming up to the fixture, because Arsenal have injuries.
They got a lot of injuries, and I don't know if his boys heard. Not that he means much.
Kai Havertz out for the season.
That leaves them with 3 attacking players. So
and Sterling can't play as well. Sterling can't play, so that will leave them with short of attackers. So that's why I'm looking at maybe it depends. It depends. If they ain't got their attackers, I think it would be a very close game. I think it would be a draw. This one.
I think we can get something out of that game. So I'm gonna go draw. I'm gonna go draw.
Draw. Chelsea v Tottenham, Wednesday, 2nd of April, 7:45 kickoff. Come on, boys. No point in talking about that. That's a 3 points, isn't it?
That's got it.
Listen. We'll win that one 100%. 100%. We'll win that one.
Even in our worst and darkest moments, we end up turning up against Tottenham. It's just one of them things. We beat Tottenham regardless.
It's a normal occasion. It's a normal occasion.
It's normality. It's normality. So 3 points for all of us on that one. Brentford away, a very difficult fixture for us the last few years.
Oh,
I've got that as a draw personally. What about yourselves?
I think we dropped from them points. I think we dropped.
You got points. Draw, loss?
A loss.
No, Ben?
I'm gonna go a draw, but Deals has got me thinking about something about that game, but it's because we do struggle at Brentford. Plus, the way we've been playing, who knows? We're like a yo-yo at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially when we haven't got Jackson. Because remember the last season when we played them, didn't we get the win at the ground? No, we drew. We drew.
It's 2-2, I think it was. We was 2-1 up very late, and I scored an equaliser very late.
Yeah.
That's a fucking remember. All right, moving on. Ipswich at home, time for us to get a bit of payback for that 2-0 loss at Portman Road. I can't see it being anything more but a win, but
it has to be a win.
It's got to be a win in that one. It's got to be a win.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Fulham away, 19th of April.
I think we draw in that one. I think we draw because I'm looking at Fulham. I'm looking at Fulham's quality, what they done to us last time, and you know what happened last time. So And depending on our injuries crisis, hopefully we do get Jackson back by then. When is that game?
Well, just a quick one, boys. I'm on another group chat, and apparently, from what I've just read, that Jackson's out until April.
That's what I've heard as well.
That's what I've just read. So
Yeah.
If he's out to April, well, my God, I might have to change what we've just said.
Do you think?
We'll say for now with Jackson in. Okay, we'll just go with Jackson.
What's your lot's thoughts on Nkuku? Do you think he's good enough to be a number 9? Because I don't think he is. I think he's more. I think he's more a cam type of player. I think he's more or somebody that plays aside a number 9. Somebody that likes to.
Yeah, and he kept trying to I don't know if you've seen it, and I couldn't work out what he was trying to do against Brighton, but he dropped nearly all the way back to the defence at some point, and I'm going, what? And then he wouldn't go for the keeper, and I'm just sitting there going, move, run.
Do you know what it is? I think it's where he thinks that he's gonna be a number 9, but he's been told to be pushed up in sort of a midfield type of player as well. But it's very strange for him to be doing that, and I think he's more common. He said when he first come here that he's a striker, but he's not a striker. So that's the issue that we're left in at the moment with Nkuku. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, going back to the subject before we finish off, boys. So we were up to Chelsea v Everton. Everton at home. Massive win there. Massive win last season. I think it was 6-0, was it, or 5-0? What you opinion about them was a win?
That should be a win.
We should get the win. We should get the win.
Chelsea Liverpool at home the following Saturday.
I'm gonna have to say we lose.
A draw.
I think we draw. I'm going to draw.
Newcastle away, 10th of May.
I think
I lost. So
are you going to that one? Kevin, you going to that one?
I should be able to, yeah. But those last 3 fixtures is personally, I think that's where we lose. I think.
Are you going to that one, Ben?
What, Newcastle away?
Yeah.
Could potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So
those last 3 games is where I feel like we lose the Champions League spot, because we'll have Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Man United at home, Forest away. The last 4 games of the season. I feel like
we need to catch up. We need to catch our points as soon as possible.
Well, put it this way: if what we've just said, then if we can somehow get points against Fulham, like we said, a draw, points against Brentford, like we said, that would be a draw. That's 6 points. Then we need, if I said draw against Brighton, if we can pick up a win this week, this Friday, that's 9 points. I think that's where we are going to. That's when we'll either win or lose top 4, because that last 4 fixtures, they're not easy. Now, no matter how bad Man United are, we've got this thing against them for some weird reason. Liverpool is not an easy task, because depending on where the season's at, that could be their fight for the title. And then you've got Newcastle. I mean, can it get any worse? And then you've got Forest.
Yeah.
And I mean,
those last 4 games is where we completely come out the race. I just can't see.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna. I feel like we're gonna be in around the top 4. But when you
I think we got to win to win one of them games. I think we that's where I think we can qualify for getting top 4.
Yeah.
But again, I heard somewhere that where top 5 can get top 4. Is that true?
I did hear that. I'm not sure how true that is as of yet. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, just quickly, boys. I'm just going to go through a few comments, and thank you very much, everybody, for continuing to watch. We are now nearly an hour and a half into the live. So
big up DJ.
Big up
yourselves for. And remember to also smash the likes, share, subscribe, all that jazz. We are growing. We're trying to do more lives. We're trying to do more. We're trying to get more content to you fans. We're also trying to bring more fans onto the channel as well. So I'm going to go with a comment from DJ Sav. If we don't make Champions League, this is no worry on. This is no worry on the owners. They don't care. It will mean they would have to buy big, up their wage structure because our current team are not good enough. Thoughts on that, lads?
Well, do you know what, Daniel's big up, mate. I would like to think that would be the case. But with these owners, this wage structure that we've got, I can't see them breaking that.
No.
So, and this
No
is
way,
half
no
the
way.
reason why
I think depending on the Champions League, I think depending if we do get Champions League, I think that's where they're gonna come to reality that they have to, because that's where you see players demand for different wages.
Well, yeah.
So boys, let's finishing up. How do you see us becoming title contenders moving forward? How do you see this model changing? What does it take for us to show the owners that just competing for top four is not acceptable at the club? I'm going to ask that question to Dills first.
I think it depends on results as well. I think the fans will come across to it. They should come across to it, but it depends on results and where we are. And I feel that if we're winning games, I think that will make a difference, a little difference. But again, at the same time, it's these owners and they're the problem. So
Yeah.
the only way that could happen.
So with the owners being the main topic of conversation once again, how do we get the message across to the owners for them to change the model? Because it seems to me that they're not looking to change it. How do we change the model now? How do we get
The fans.
How do we get them to sign better players? How do we get them to change the wage structure? How do we get them to make us a top European club once again?
Well, we can't put banners in the games because I heard that's been restricted apparently, where we can't put banners in to say that with the model out. So the only way that could happen if there is a Chelsea board member that with the fans and that can talk to the ownership and that come across to the ownership and tell them that this is what we need to change. This is what we need to fix.
You know, it's a very hard question, Kev, because I've been sitting here trying to think of an answer. I haven't got one. The only thing that potentially we could show them what needs to change is us being very vocal and start and it's going to sound bad, but it might have to get back to that point of getting toxic again. We can't.
Bowley, you're.
Well. It depends. It depends. Yeah. Like we need our old fan base to unite, because, like, again, when these owners first came in, I said, "Oh no, this is a problem," and now the fan base didn't do anything about it. Like, we didn't do anything about it, and to make these owners know which club they bought. You know what I mean? And that's important.
Yeah,
it's important for them to know which club they bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, Kev?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, do you feel a healthy protest, if we don't get top four, will change the model going forward, or do you feel we will get ignored as fans? Because it's not necessarily proving that these kind of things will change anything. When you look at Man United in the years and years and years and years, they was protesting, and it's only up until the last year they have been brought out. Do you feel these Americans will budge? Because I just feel like they don't give a crap. I just feel like they don't. I feel like this is it now, boys. I've given up, man. I have no hope.
Tell you one thing, and I've been thinking about this last couple of weeks. If we don't start changing what's going on if the board doesn't start changing how they've approached it now, and they don't come out and say, okay, do you know what? They need to come out and say, okay, we've made a mistake. Let's fix this. Get some experienced people in that club again. Help them get back to the way things were. And because if we don't,
Do you know how we start though? By getting rid of the sporting directors,
well,
bringing up.
they're the
We
first things because they're useless, right?
yeah, we need a proper sporting director to come in. I've been saying that for the longest that we need a proper sporting director, and I feel like a proper sporting director will pick the right players. They
Well,
will pick the right
this is
players.
if we're not
No,
careful,
you know, it all comes back down to money,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and
yeah. Like I said,
that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
And yeah, just gonna quickly touch upon a very interesting comment made by Versky here. The Clear Lake model will work. Just wait for Estavo Paez and Andre Santos. I'm gonna go to Dills of that one. Do you feel like these three players will make a massive difference to us?
I'm sorry, but look, what you're seeing now in the youth project, is it working? No. Like as much as these players are good, as much as Esteval is good, as much as Andre Santos is good, they're not different makers. They're not world beaters. You know what I mean? They're not somebody that will come in and organize the team properly. They're not. They're not.
Facts.
And what makes anybody think that these three players, yes, they're great.
Sorry to interrupt, but Versky, you said it's not working yet. That's the key word. But do you think it takes so long for a process to start working? When you spend £1.2 billion, do you feel it's acceptable for us to be in a position where you are now? And I'm going to ask you that question from, Versky. Do you think it's acceptable for us to be where we are now, out of all domestic cups, not competing for the league, potentially not in Champions League,
and they're taking a mick out the fans as well. They're taking a mick.
and we're in the Europa Conference League. Do you feel like it's been a successful time, and do you feel like with those three players it will be successful? With that in mind, Lil Ben, what was you saying before I interrupted, mate?
No, that's all right. It's all right.
I was saying that they were taking the mick out the fans as well, Kev. That's another thing as well. They've took the mick out the fans, out of ticket pricing, changing the tickets as well. That is a proof in to say, yo, they're doing things, everything for money, everything is for profit. That's all they care about.
Exactly. Like, what about these going fans that love Chelsea? And more like, I got another friend, Peter, big up Pete, but he was telling me he's an older fella, and he was telling me it never used to be so hard to jump on and try and get even just, and he's just a member. He's been one for years.
Yeah, no chance.
He can't even get through anymore. He goes,
you go to that virtual waiting room, mate. You might as well just freaking.
You might as well
that virtual waiting room is like being stuck in the box. It's like being stuck in a room with no doors. You're not getting.
I haven't been to a game for a while.
No, unless you've got a link, you're not getting one. You're not getting one.
No,
you really are not getting a ticket, mate. You really not. And just going through another couple more subjects, lads, because like I said, I'm gonna end up wrapping up real soon. What do you feel about Reece James at the moment? Reece James got left out the weekend against Brighton. Maresca's clearly come out and said that he got left out, and that was to stop him from getting injury moving forward. I've seen a clip earlier on social media, you've probably seen on my Instagram, of him getting a clean pair of heels by Carlos.
This is the problem, Kev. This is the problem I've said about Maresca, because Maresca said that he's ready for Friday, and Jackson's ready for Friday. So why is he lying? Why is he lying to the fans for?
Well, this is the thing.
It's the same. It's been like this for the last few months. With Lavia, he said when Lavia got his last injury in November, he said he was out for a couple of weeks. November, December, January, February, he's still out, brother. 4 months, bro. This is the thing, boys. But
there's no honesty.
No honesty. It's a mess. But where do you feel with Reece James though? Because when I watched that video earlier, it kind of broke my heart. He's getting left for dust. Carlos Salah A slow midfielder. Let's have it right. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's
Showing him
meant
a
to be our
thing there.
captain. He's meant
And
to be our
and
captain.
he's getting dusted. Do you
He's
feel like this is honestly, if James is out again Friday, do you feel like this is it for Reece James? I'm gonna go with Milburn first.
Yeah, I had a question that I was, and then you just answered, like,
Yeah.
you made the question for me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think it's time, and I love Reece James. It's time to look past Reece James. We've done it with Chilwell. It those days are gone now with wing backs, etc., etc. And he's so injury prone. Like, we can't keep relying on a player who's amazing. Yes, he is when he's fit, but he's never fit. How can you? And then, you know, and Gusto, for example, he was a great replacement last year. Not even a
Ben.
replacement, but he did
Ben.
well.
Ben. He's the only one. He's the only one in the squad that actually knows Chelsea as well.
And I know.
Him and Trev and Levi Colwell, arguably.
I'm not putting Levi in there. I'm not putting Levi in there. I'm
I
only
I
putting
I,
I'm only
I
putting James
just
in there.
it's just so
and
hard.
Trev came through the ranks as well. Let's be real.
But does he know? Does he know Chelsea like? Does he know Chelsea like James though? That's the thing.
Also does.
James,
He does.
James has been here since age 5, bro.
Yeah. Trevor's been here since young as well. Trevor's been here since 7, 8.
Yeah.
But
I
what I'm
don't know.
trying to
What's
get
your
to,
take on it,
what I'm
Jill?
trying to get to is, will he recover and get that speed, that sharpness back? Because from that video I seen earlier, mate, it looks like I've just come up with this in my mind. If he's getting left against Carlos Soler like that, imagine him coming up in the Champions League against a Vinny Jr. or Mbappe. Imagine how dusty he's gonna get. So I just is it time for us to try and get another right back in? I just if I don't see him on that team shit on Friday, I've already said
Do you remember?
I want him out.
Do you remember when you
It's
had the
gotta be him.
surgery? Do you
Yeah.
remember when you had the surgery? And I thought that there would be a difference in Reece James with the surgery, but ever since then, it's not been. There's not been a difference, you know.
No,
And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate
it is
because there
very
is a
it is very unfortunate.
he's a
because,
world class defender. He's a world
yeah,
class defender. You know
and
what I mean?
this is
Yeah.
where you get so stuck on him, because he is a world class defender, but it, it's hard to when you're trying to move forward and you've got a right back that is so good but is always injured. How can you build a team around that defense? Because I mean, our defense is shocking as it is, and then you've got a player that's always injured. Like,
And he's not even a leader though. He's not even a leader.
I know,
He don't
like,
he
yeah,
doesn't bring that leadership with him. He doesn't bring
Yeah.
it with him on the field. He doesn't shout on the field. Doesn't do none of
Nah,
that.
nah,
So
he's not. He's not. He's not that.
we need a lead. We need a leader that shouts on the field and is commanding.
Yeah. Well,
That's old enough to
that's the
be a
leader.
leader.
Experience,
yeah,
talks, leads, points, directs. You're not getting out of Reece James.
no, you
Maybe
don't.
in the changing room, you're getting something different, but it certainly doesn't seem like he's doing that on the pitch. And on the pitch is where it counts.
It
On
looks
the
very
pitch is where it counts.
it looks very timid on the pitch, doesn't it? It's like
Quiet.
it's almost too nice of a character.
Yeah.
In saying that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead with a comment here by Versku once again, before me and Lil Ben finish up. We'll be world beaters in a couple of years, and it will be the most sustainable model in all the world football. Other clubs will follow. So, Versku, just going off that, why do you think it's going to be the most sustainable model in the world? It's never been done before. It's not proven to win anything. So, how do you feel it's going to change with us? Please leave it in the comments. I'm going to go to Sav again. While we have no experience in the squad, getting rid of Reece James does not make sense. He is only player left in the squad that has won a trophy for our club. He will be back to his best. I do like to think so. I would like to think so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to another comment here. I am the way of life and the truth. We have no leaders, no experience to help these youngsters. The owners and directors have no clue to squad build up the Chelsea. And that's how 99.9 of us are feeling, apart from Versky, who feels like this model is going to be the best thing since loaf bread. I just don't get how that's going to happen. I really don't. Ben, thoughts on that, please? Do you think this model will end up being successful in the end. We have waited 3 years so far. Do you feel like it's going to change?
No, I feel like we just up and down like yo-yos. I think
Yeah,
us being fourth at the moment, yeah, it looks pretty and it paints over the cracks. I mean, we're only at the moment we're only going down again that table. Like we were second, now we're going back down again. Like we're not that much better off than what we were last season. And it's going to sound crazy to think that, but
yeah,
no, I don't. I'm actually a bit worried that if we keep going the way we're going, it's going to end up like Man United.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
serious.
yeah, 100%. 10 years, 10 years. We could be looking at a long time after that before we win another league.
Yeah,
And
that's
and the thing is, Ben, we keep saying it. We are probably 3 top class acquisitions away from actually contending properly. Just the 3,
that's all
and
we need.
we cannot get it right. We
And we
cannot get it right. We
no,
cannot get it right. So it's got to be down to them not wanting to spend on 3 world class, but spend it on 10 mid to make profit. And
yeah,
that's how I feel the model of the club is going, and that's how it's going to continue to stay
unless
unless we make a stance.
exactly unless that changes in the next window, and we go out and go bang, we get a keeper, bang, we get a centre back, bang, we get a forward.
I don't think we need a keeper though. I really don't think we need a keeper.
Or maybe not. Yeah,
Petrovic.
maybe not.
I think Petrovic would do a brilliant job.
Oh
I just
yeah,
think we need.
I
Yeah,
forgot about you could recall him. If we recall him, mate, we don't probably need anybody. And
yeah,
do smart things. Recall. You know, recall Petrovic. Go and buy a decent centre back that's got a bit of senior in him, and then go buy a forward. And you're right. I reckon we can then work with that. But we're leaving gaps. We're leaving holes still. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
right. Okay, so we're gonna go back to a comment from Verscu. Very interesting stuff from this guy. Will refrain from signing high profile, high wage, high risk signings like we're doing with the Roman, and it will work out long term a lot better. 3 years in, I say not quite, but if you're a patient man, you probably do believe in the process. But right now, as you speak, us fans are getting very, very tired and frustrated about the model so far. When you're 9 windows in to a transfer window and you haven't signed a top quality striker yet, what does that go to show? You've got Nicholas Jackson as your main number 9, who's out injured today, April. Where is the squad depth? When you spent so much money, where's squad depth? Okay, it's good, but you're planning for the future. But what about the present? We are a
Yeah,
win.
these
We
owners
are,
are forgetting about
yeah,
the present.
yeah. You got to think about the present. I got Stu who sent a message in. Problem is, once we get settled, team, the best players will be sold for profit. That's a model. Flip and start a game. And that's what
Stu,
I'm saying. That's what everyone's seeing. We're not
Stu,
stupid.
I was saying that earlier. It's a flipping sell at the moment, and that's their model. And we're just going to be. And if it continues like that, what Stu just said then, and which at the moment we've got no reason to believe it's going to change, then we will be sitting around 6th, 7th, 8th, possibly 10th. Maybe go to 4th, come back down again. We're never going to get anywhere because this is what's going to happen. I
Yeah.
agree. I have to agree with him.
Okay, Dark Knight, Raphael Leo, rumors true. What do you think? We're living in dream world. We are
Dreamland.
not going for Raphael. We're not going for Gaio Corres. We're not going for Bastonis. We're not going for the best of the best, mate. We are going for players like Gittins from Dortmund, players that are up and coming. We're not going for players that are coming towards the final product. It's not going to happen. The wage structure does not suit the way the club's going. And it's clear to see when Osherman only wanted £150,000 from wages, we couldn't match that. So how the hell are we going to attract Raphael Leos? He's probably on about 320 at AC Milan. It's just not going to happen. So unfortunately, the rumours are just fabricating nonsense.
Yeah.
There's no hope of us going for a player like that. Anything else from anyone in the chat though before we wrap up? Obviously, it's been nearly 2 hours in. We've had some very, very good discussions. Please remember to smash the likes. Anything else that anyone wants to say before we wrap up? Obviously, we've touched upon the Sam Kerr situation. We touched upon transfers. We touched upon Brighton, the FA Cup Brighton game. We've touched upon Tom Bowley buying a cricket club and ticket. It's just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But personally, everybody else, your thoughts in the comments. Anything else that you want to touch upon? Any questions you want to ask before we wrap up? Please let them be known. So we've got one here from Dave Awary. At minimum, if the young model and project, then why cap salary 150k? No young top player will join. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's no top player that's going to join if the salary caps look well. Our wage structure is at that. Yeah, agreed.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining tonight. It's been a good discussion. A lot of topics that have been brought up, and I'm very, very delighted for everyone to obviously having patience and myself. Obviously, a couple of technical issues within the chat, which I got over. Thank you for being patient with me. It's going to be a lot more lives on myself going forward, a lot more structured lives, a lot more better lives going forward. So please lock in anytime you see me coming up, lock in, likes just there. I will try and get Lil Ben on as well. He's been brilliant. Thank you for coming on, Ben.
All good, buddy. All good.
Very brilliant. Good positive vibes. Hopefully we get the win on Saturday. Everyone stay positive and up the Chelsea. See you all soon.
See you, Kev. Later, boys.
Right.